A very good morning, it's Fabio, and we have massive movements ahead of us in the Forex markets today, with the world seemingly turning its back on the United States and major economies planning countermeasures against the tariffs that are going to be announced today at 3 p.m. Washington time. Could we be looking at the last dump before a massive pump in towards the highs on these risk-on pairs? Today we're going to be breaking down NZDUSD, AUDUSD, Euro Dollar, and obviously as well dollar, yen, and gold. We're going to see what's happening, what's next, and how you can potentially stay ahead of the markets yourself. Now, let's dive in and see where EURUSD is currently trading at and what the potential trade opportunities are. So, Euro Dollar, first of all, guys, what we've seen is another push in towards the downside, pretty much as expected. All of you know that here on the daily time frame, we are still in that overall pullback phase. So what do I mean with a pullback phase? Now, overall, the market obviously pushed all the way down from this low in towards the high here at the top. If I draw in the premium versus discount tool, it's going to be a lot more clear. You can see that we're currently trading at a premium. We grabbed liquidity on top of this overall internal high, and the market then started to retrace in towards the downside. Now, the overall confirmation for, let's say, that downside continuation, that came after a daily fractal structure shift. So what the market overall did was a push up, a pull back, a push up, a pull back, a push up, and then it broke this blue line over here, which was your market structure break, confirming that further downside and potential shorting opportunities within this overall blue circle. Now, looking at the daily, that is the first thing that I want you to understand. The overall daily time frame here, that is bearish. The market retraces exactly into the 0.5 fib, and then from there starts to push back in towards the downside. Now, if you then want to get a potential entry on this, because again, we're trading inside premium, so all the shorts are pretty much just a good option. And then as well here on the fractal structure, you get that 0.5 fib retracement, which is a good sign for a potential short. So if you then want to take a short, you go into the 4-hour time frame. And on the 4-hour time frame, what you identify here is that we saw a break in towards the highs, a break in towards the highs, and then a break in towards the lows. Now, the overall 4-hour swing is from this high in towards this low, and again, it's the exact same as a daily fractal structure. We can see the 0.5 fib then pushes the market down. Now, what happened here on the 4-hour time frame, and you can still see it pretty much drawn on, is that we get a push up, a pull back, a push up, a pull back, a push up, and this is just purely fractal structure that I'm reading. Here we have the low, which broke this previous high, and then we break that low. We get a push down, we get a retracement again in towards this 4-hour imbalance candle, and then from that 4-hour imbalance candle, we head down lower once again in towards the downside, and we have been pushing down ever since. Now, looking at the 1-hour time frame, there was a nice shorting opportunity available yesterday from that green 1-hour supply zone. This is a very valid 1-hour supply zone due to the fact that we saw a change of character here at the top. So with a change of character, I'm referring to the overall fact that here we grab liquidity on this little bump in the road because we get a push down, a pull back, a push down. That's why I see this as like a little bump in the road of liquidity. We grab that liquidity here, and what happened is that we saw a 1-hour change of character high get broken. Here the 1-hour change of character low. Therefore, that validates that this is then supply. We tap in and then we sell off in towards the downside. So if you're in a short position, congratulations. It makes a lot of sense as I've just broken down, and it is still looking good to push down lower. Overall, I'm keeping my hands off of EURUSD due to, again, the news that's going to be dropping and the overall consolidative nature that we have here on the chart. But overall, again, based on the daily fractal structure, based on the fact that we're in the daily premium, based on the 4-hour swing structure, based on the 4-hour fractal structure, it is good to take that short opportunity in towards the downside. So yeah, congrats if you're in those shorts. For now, still for the downside is definitely possible. There's nothing bullish about it until what? Until we see a 4-hour fractal structure shift, which is currently the high of this doji candle over here, which is this blue line. So once that blue line gets broken, then potential longs could be interesting once again. But personally, I'm not really favoring it. I would prefer to see another push in towards the downside here on EURUSD, kind of like form, let's say, a squeezing formation in towards the downside, or at least sweep that low, because then your daily fractal high also comes closer. That would be this blue line over here, and then instead of this blue line. And then I would already be able to look for longs on the break of that daily fractal high, and then just look for the retracement to then go long as we then form a fresh area of demand over here. Because now if you get that 4-hour fractal structure shift, like, it's hard to get into good longs because the daily fractal high is all the way up here. So you're kind of trading like the 4-hour pullback, you know, like of the overall daily fractal structure, which is always going to be a little bit of a lower probability setup in my opinion. And that's why I would prefer another push in towards downside on EURUSD. But we're going to have to see, and wait what happens overall. Okay, I've dropped some interesting news on the euro, by the way, inside Discord, so make sure to check that out. In the meantime, guys, I get a lot of questions, Fabio. I want to learn more about the fundamentals and about the way that you trade. In the description of this video, there is a link to a form. Fill in the form, very simple, and then my team and I will reach out to you. You can get on a call with myself, and we're going to see if we're potentially a good fit, to become funded and learn this strategy yourself as well. Okay, now looking here at the dollar index. The dollar index overall is obviously retracing in towards the highs once again. I'm going to clean up my chart a bit here because it's a little bit of a messy chart overall. Now, what I want you to understand is that here on the daily time frame, the overall daily fractal is bullish. Here we had a low swipe, then we broke this daily fractal high over here. Now, at the moment, your daily fractal structure, so let's say the structure of the individual candlesticks, that is bullish over here. What happened is that the market retraced where? Well, exactly into the 0.5 fib, again, rejecting that and then pushing up higher. Now, the daily itself is just a little bit hard to trade. I would say, like, it's not ideal. So we drop down in towards the 4 hour. And on the 4 hour time frame, what do we see? We can refine that overall daily bias because the daily is looking good to push up higher. So then you look at the 4 hour time frame. What do you see on the 4 hour? Okay, we sweep the lows over here, okay? So these lows get swept by the wick that we had over here. And then we get the reversal in towards the highs. And this is very similar to price action to what we've seen at the beginning of the week on euro dollar. Because again, you guys know it, for kind of like a reversal in towards the highs, you need two things. Number one, you need liquidity or demand zone. And number two, you need the change of character or the market structure shift. So what we have in this example here is the liquidity low. We grab liquidity over there. So number one is check. The number two, the change of character. Then we get the change of character. So here we had the change of character high break. Here we had the low break. Here we had the low break. Here we had the low break. And then what happened here is that we had the high break. So at that time when this high got broken, this then becomes your fractal high. This then becomes your fractal low. What happens here on the 4 hour fractal structure again? And you can see it time and time again, man. That 0.5 fib, guys, it is literally magic. Again, rejecting 0.5 fib and pushing up higher. Now, you can see that the market here on the 4 hour time frame is consolidating in anticipation of what is going to happen this afternoon. So I'm not expecting massive movements from the dollar overall, but for now, the market structure is obviously bullish. So let's see what Trump says. It makes sense from a technical perspective to push up higher, obviously. But again, the news could do anything at any point in time and just invalidate the analysis. Because overall, still my bias is down for the dollar. I'm just very simply looking here at the weekly time frame. I'm just going to say it like this. Here we had liquidity. So what happened is that, okay, here we swept liquidity, but the market structure remained bullish until where? Until break, and then here low break, low break. So overall, the daily fractal structure is still bearish from this high in towards this low. And therefore, it's not strange to see a little bit of a higher pullback before another sell-off. Here you can see premium versus discount tool. That daily area of supply is like fresh as hell, or weekly, excuse me. So it could still just retrace in towards there and then sell off, or it could sell off at any point in time. Like the easiest way to understand that a market is going to sell off is looking at the daily fractal structure. However, here on the daily time frame, the problem with the dollar index is that the daily fractal low is currently here. This is the daily fractal high. So if we break this low, you're kind of like already trading, you're like trading the breakout in towards the downside. So preferably, I would want to see another push up. This then becomes your daily fractal low of this doji candle. And then once that low goes, then you just get in on the retracement, boom. And then you're like in over here instead of getting in over here, for example, okay? So this is what I'm waiting for on the dollar. Still looking for further downside, but potential push up higher is still very, very valid as the daily fractal is bullish and the 4 hour fractal is still bullish as well. I'll be keeping an eye open for that dollar downside, but waiting definitely for more confirmation, because until that confirmation comes, for now, the dollar looks good to push up higher. Now, going into AUDUSD. AUDUSD has been rebounding, guys. I feel, not going to say I feel emotional, but it is sad to see. Overall, if I share my screen here, you can see that I took a loss on both AU and NU. I'm still in AU, and this is one of my other accounts. I'm still in AUDUSD, so you can see here I took both trades, both the one with the tighter stop loss underneath the lows, and I took also one with the wider stop loss all the way down over here. So this is a bigger swing position that I'm still in. It is running now pretty much in there, very, very minor profit, but it is looking good overall. So yeah, one stop loss and one still running. So that's kind of like the position that I'm currently in. As you can see, it's pretty much just taken like this with my stops underneath this low over here. And I'm going to be targeting that overall weekly high that we have over there. But that's what I'm waiting for now. For now, if you want to take those longs on AUDUSD, because I'm still looking for further upside, very simply said. Obviously, the market is consolidating, and we've been seeing a hit on these risk on pairs with this tariff news. But I think once this tariff news is kind of like over, then we're going to see a bigger run on NZD and AUD, for example. Also, CAD has the potential to push up higher because a lot of these countries are like working together now and coming with a response to Trump overall. AUD for myself, it's a very nice opportunity. We swipe the weekly lows. We have the weekly here consolidating. We swipe the range high. We see a reversal down. We swipe the range low. And now I'm just looking for a reversal up, at least to take out some weekly liquidity whatsoever. Looking now at the daily time frame, I pretty much like what I see, guys, because here we had a sweep of the liquidity low. And then we see the break of structure up. Now for myself, swing high, swing low. We draw in the fib, and what do we see again, guys? The 0.5 fib acting as that magnet, man. It's crazy. So now if you want the confirmation for AUDUSD, wait for the daily fractal to break, which is this dotted line over here. I mentioned this in yesterday's video as well. Wait for this to break, then the retest. This becomes your demand zone, and then I'll be looking for a long position pretty much just like this with my stop loss underneath this low, again targeting this high over here. Okay, so this is kind of like the next position that I'm waiting for on AUDUSD. Going into NZDUSD or GBPUSD, excuse me, before I forget that. Looking at GU, we can see that GU is consolidating. A very, very boring pair at the moment. Looking here at the 4-hour time frame as well, you can see it is ranging. Like I said yesterday, you kind of like want to be buying at a 25% level. There's not really any sense in me really breaking it down for you guys just because it's consolidating. Market structure or even fractal structure just does not make any sense applying it to this overall chart. All you want to be doing is buying from 25%, selling from the 75%. Yeah. I mean, pretty much just that. Now, if you're really looking for those longs, then yeah, let's see what happens. Could be that we just again react over here. You just pretty much want to be putting your stop loss underneath the range and then targeting the 75% mark again. Do keep in mind that, again, the tariff news is going to cause a lot of volatility today, but that is what the market is currently waiting for. And that is also the reason why GU has been consolidating this heavily. Okay, so let's just wait with GU. It's the ugliest pair of them all, in my opinion, at the moment. So I'll just stay away from that. Going into NZDUSD. So NU, guys, heartbroken. Not gonna lie, I am very heartbroken. As you just saw, I hit stop loss on NZDUSD. It's pushing like a madman. What can I say? My mistake, maybe I was a little bit too aggressive with my overall entry. If I look back at it, like I could have also just simply entered like on this 4-hour demand zone. I'm going to show you in a second which demand zone it is, and then just trade it back up higher. Such a beautiful 1-to-3 risk to reward. Oi, 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 oi. I have a stomach ache of this one. I really like this position over here. Here the lows getting swiped, and then a tap into the lower time frame 4-hour demand zone that we have over here. We also had a 4-hour demand zone over here. I mentioned this one in yesterday's video as well. And now you can see what are we getting? The 4-hour change of character after breaking this high over here. So for me, the 4-hour is now bullish again. We have all of these descending highs here. It's very likely that it's going to take those out. And I'm just looking for more upside on this. Yeah, what can I say, man? Oh, like it's also so confronting recording myself now, looking back at it. Like sometimes you just know, like yesterday we discussed this 4-hour demand zone, and now I'm not in it. So I have a little bit of FOMO, but that's good that I'm recording myself, because then I understand that I have that feeling or that emotion, and I can learn, yeah, to switch that off. But yeah, looking at this, I just want further upside. I mean, obviously the safest bets are going to come once we break the dotted line, which is the daily fractal high. Break that. Then you have a demand zone over here, and then yeah, you could get into even higher probability buys, obviously. So keep an eye open for that happening. Okay, that is a potential setup that I see. If you want to get in on a more aggressive setup and not miss out, then obviously you have this as your 4-hour demand zone now, which could also provide you with an entry, or just wait for the tariff news to be over. But then again, what could have happened is that this is just the selling the rumor, obviously, of those tariffs, and then what you want to be doing is buying the news, right, with the bigger impulse up next. It grabbed liquidity, and now it could just fuel the next move up. So I'm looking for some more longs on this overall leg up. Let's keep an eye on it together. And yeah, if you guys see anything interesting, make sure to tag myself inside Discord, link in the description of this video. Now, going into dollar yen is pushing in towards the highs from what I remember from this morning. Overall, very simply said, The daily fractal structure is bearish from this high in towards this low. Overall, I'm interested in still further downside. Looking at this, what you pretty much now want to see is the fact that, okay, 4-hour fractal high is this over here. This is the 4-hour fractal low. Obviously, it reacted again to the 0.5 fib or to premium. And what I'm now just looking for is a liquidation of the initial reaction. So maybe one more push up, and then inside of that green zone, that is where we're going to be looking for a potential shorting opportunity. Okay. Now, by the way, guys, as I mentioned earlier, I think I forgot, but we have a mentorship program. Links in the description down below. We do daily live sessions with the entire team. Everybody hosts them, from Oscar to Jimmy to myself to Rutger. If you want to join in, make sure to fill in that form. A link in the description of the video. Now, going into gold, last of all, I know a lot of you love gold. Gold is moving a little bit dirty, a lot of manipulation. Again, it's kind of what I mentioned. You want to wait for the manipulation to happen. Again, this fake demand zone not holding. And we swipe all the lows underneath it. Then we see a rebound back up. Supply currently over here in control. Let's see what today the tariff news is going to do. I think gold is also waiting for that. You can see it's manipulating a lot of people at the moment. I don't like the fact that we have equal lows over here, so I would prefer to see another swipe down before any potential further moves up. So yeah, wait for some more swipes of liquidity, in my opinion, before looking for longs. Yes, we have kind of like this demand zone, but we also have this supply zone. So for myself, if you want to get into shorts, wait for the highs to get taken, and then for shorts, if you want to look for longs, wait for the lows to get taken. For me, this is currently a no trading zone, as simple as that. So yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Wish you all a fantastic trading day. If you have any questions, make sure to join Discord. I'm there to help, and see you soon.